Hello, welcome. My name is Michelle, and I am going to be doing readings based on zodiac signs, and we're going to begin with the air signs. So this is going to be for Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I'm shuffling off camera. This is my new setup. I like it so far. I hope that you do too. I'm ready to start taking my video tarot readings a lot more seriously. I haven't really been doing them. I've been exclusively working with Sanctuary and Hey Hero to provide readings to people, as well as I have a few private clients that come to me directly. Yes, you too can FaceTime with me. I encourage it, actually. I don't really put myself out as a reader as much as I maybe should or could, because Sanctuary keeps me so busy, and I really have to be very diligent about clearing my energy throughout my shifts and after each reading, and it's a lot of work. So yeah, Sanctuary's been keeping me busy, but I really want to try providing free content to people. I've been called to do it many a time, which is why I do have some videos, but consistency has been a problem, mostly because Sanctuary really provides me with plenty of opportunity to help people with my tarot reading abilities. Hi, Roxy. She's off camera, but she's right next to me, my pupper doggo. She wants my attention. She sees me shuffling the cards, and she knows that Mama is working. Yes? All right. This shuffling session is getting too long. Nothing's falling out, which is interesting. Maybe it's because I'm not focused. I should probably focus. That's gonna be hard with you doing that, Roxy. That's a lot of cards. We're not taking that. All right, let's get focused, okay? Roxy, be cool. No lickies, baby. No licky-loo. Thank you. She's a good girl. Oops, something just flipped over. The Empress. Hello, Divine Feminine. I feel this Empress is coming out to remind you, air signs, that you are capable of mothering yourself, and not like in a bad way, like as in, I mean, loving yourself the way a mother should love you. Okay? So this is about self-care. This is about maintaining your hygiene, looking after your nutrition, treating yourself like you would if you were pregnant. Okay? Taking the best care of yourself that you can. Resting when you need it. Eating healthy foods. Staying hydrated. I know, Roxy. She wants belly rubs. That's why she was barking. And now she's over here. Hi, baby girl. I'm doing a reading, honey. Yeah. I love you too, and I'll give you lots of pets and loves, but I need my hands right now for the cards. Maybe I'll just pause the video and edit it later. Right? Because we can do that. We can edit videos. They don't have to go all the way raw, right? Okay. I'm going to give you some pets, Roxy. Now she's sitting here licking my knee. I would rather her do that than whine or bark or push her way in here like she just was. Sometimes she just wants some attention, and I gotta give it to her. Go ahead, girl, lay down. There's a good girl. All right, so yeah, the Empress. Just take the best care of yourself that you can right now, especially as we're leading into the Lion's Gate. We are already in the Lion's Gate portal that opened up, I believe, on the new moon. You'll have to forgive me. I do talk a little bit about astrology, but I'm not an astrologer. I just follow people who are much better at it than I am. So I stay aware of the transits to an extent, not as much as an astrologer would, and I don't understand it as much as an astrologer would. However, I know some really, really talented ones, so if you need a lead on a great astrologer, I can point you in the right direction, okay? The Lion's Gate happens, its peak every year is around August 8th. So 8/8. It's the 8/8 Lion's Gate portal every year. And actually, I think the portal opens up at the day out of time, which is July 25th and 26th, I think. 24th, 25th, 26th. It's like those 3 days. It's the Mayan New Year, day out of time. And it's potent. This year, I took my son out to a state park and we went camping for those days because it just felt like the smart thing to do. Be out in nature and relax and get away from our screens a little bit and regroup and figure out our next moves for the future, which is, you know, probably I'm an Aquarius myself, so I identify here. I just keep shuffling and I'm not taking any cards, so that's okay. I'm gonna continue talking about the Empress because this is the timing of what's happening right now is requiring us as air signs or air sign dominant to take the best care of ourselves that we can. Like a mother would. Like a healthy, balanced caregiver. But to yourself, you know, not leaving it up to somebody else. Being it for yourself. And I want to draw an angel card. These are one-word cards, and I like to pull them to get a little bit deeper clarification on the tarot sometimes. So, okay, so joy and balance. Like I said, balance. So, finding your joy and finding your balance by taking the best possible care of yourself that you can, like a good mother would take care of the child that they love. You will do this for yourself during this time period, okay? Let's move on to the next card, air signs. Oh, we've got the Four of Swords. So again, taking a break, taking a rest, really focusing on your self-care and not engaging with the status quo, I'm hearing. Like taking a step away from things like the news. Like if you're watching the news right now in 2022, I hope that you're at least watching something that's impartial and not biased, and also not consuming too much of it, and maybe also consuming an equal or greater amount of good news, because there's plenty of it out there and you can find it. You know, not everything is doom and gloom out here, folks. And I learned a long time ago not to trust fear-mongering. It's perfectly normal and healthy and okay to have a fear reaction to a real threat, a real danger. But there's a lot of things out there that are not going to be a real danger, and it's useless for you to worry about. Okay, so part of taking care of yourself here is to not consume the doom. Don't consume the doom, air signs, okay? Take a step back from it. If you are engaging in that kind of stuff, like watching the news too much, you're worried about the war, you're worried about, you know, food supply shortages and things like that. It's fine and normal to be worried about these things, but the only thing that you can really do is try to prepare for the worst and make sure that you understand how to work in harmony with nature should it come to that. You know, if you don't know how to grow a garden, you might struggle a little bit if these things come to pass. But I have a feeling that some things may come to pass, but they're not going to crush everyone down. People are going to adapt and learn a new way to live, and it's going to be better. With the technology and knowledge that we have now, there's many avenues that we can go down to create a better world when the old world crumbles. I don't think that the old world crumbling is something to be afraid of, even though all of the mainstream news will have you believe that, okay? So the Four of Swords got purpose and light, okay? So, and I think purpose came up because I was kind of getting a little bit, you know, talking about how the news affects us and how there's fear in the media, and to take a break from it, because that's where you find your light, that's where you find your purpose. And that's, you know, when you detach from the things that cause fear, and recognize them for what they are, and determine how it affects you and how it affects your community and how it affects the world on a greater scale, and like know what you can be in control of and what you can't. You really can only control yourself and your reactions to things. So this is what you find when you get into this state of rest, where you're finding your light and your purpose. You begin to understand that the only thing you can control is you. This is a much needed rest, y'all. Like, the last 2 years, we have collectively and individually been able to go into our little bubbles and either improve ourselves or learn what needs improving and start working towards it. Or some of us have just, like, you know, given up. And if you haven't given up yet, and you're starting to take care of yourself as though you were carrying another life inside of you. But think of it this way, like, even if you're not pregnant, like on a literal level, I want you to think of it as treating yourself as though you are taking care of something else. But that something else is the earth, okay? It's the planet. As you take care of yourself, love yourself, and exude that outward, it helps the planet, because we are connected to her energetically and magnetically. I mean, we are magnetically pulled to her. So the way we treat ourselves reflects how she's treated. I hope that makes sense to you. This visual really gives you that positive idea of how, like, you know, you can be pregnant with the earth. Treat yourself in such a way that, like, the earth is depending on you for nutrients, you know, so make them high vibrational, good nutrients. And that's easier said than done, I know. Nine of Wands. So this is it, you know, this is like the last stand of what all of that 12 patriarchy energy, like this is it. You know, this is the last stand, right? So we are getting in alignment with the planet, taking our time to rest and rejuvenate and find our light and our purpose and get in balance and be joyful about it, because we've reached this sort of finish line where, you know, we're done having to stand up for ourselves. You know, this is it. We're determined, we're resilient, we're pushing ahead, we're moving forward, and we're finding motivation in the face of difficulties, okay? Like, let this monumental time really push you towards being the best version of yourself that you can be. You know, we all individually have to push beyond our own perceived limitations and remain open and trusting while we do, okay? We have to do it on an individual level, yeah, but we're all doing it from our respective places, okay? Yeah, okay. And this is also about, like, letting go of any ideas that you have about navigating specific lessons on your path. So there is no one right way to do this. So, like, if you're like, oh my God, Michelle, like, how do I do this? How do I find my joy and balance and light and purpose through taking care of myself and thinking of it as taking care of the earth, and also taking care of the earth? And I don't mean just like buying sustainable products, although I do really feel like voting with your dollars is very important, and you really should buy things from companies that reflect your morals for how you feel about the planet. But do your research, of course, because not everything that's all natural and claims to be good for the planet actually is. You know, the best course of action, in my opinion, is to DIY things, but, you know, that's up to you how you want to do that. I'm going to draw a rune. And I have to tell you, I'm not, like, super familiar with all rune meanings, but I made these runes, and so I'm trying to use them more often, and I don't get much of a chance to use them when I'm working Sanctuary. Where is my rune book? What would I have done with it if it's not where I thought it was? Well, I suppose I can look it up. Well, I know what this rune is. Okay, it's the Harvest rune. That's all I know about it. So, let me just look it up real quick. Bear with me. Thank you, whitemagichelp.net, for your rune origins. Okay, let's find this one. Okay, yes, it's the harvest. It's the fertile phase, and it's also about the course of 1 year. So this is, I feel that this is what needs to happen over the course of the next 12 months, okay? This is the last push of, like, you know, use this energy to heal yourself so that you can help heal the planet. This is a rune of good success, and it refers to any activity or effort you devote. This refers to any activity or effort you devote yourself. To see this rune is an encouragement to remain in good spirits. but you should know that quick results cannot be achieved. A period is always associated, therefore the keyword 1 year, which stands as a symbol for the full cycle of time that is before the harvest or exemption/liberation. Okay, so this makes total sense in conjunction with the upcoming Lionsgate, okay? It's been a year. This is where we need to be. This is it. This is the end of the cycle. And then things are going to start anew. So let's find out what's coming in. For this part, I'm going to use the Psychic Tarot for the heart. Because I do feel like a lot of this has to do with like the opening of the heart and learning to love ourselves more and love each other more. Dedicated effort. Okay. I feel like this is about putting the work in to make sure that your relationships are balanced. Yeah. This is about recognizing that throughout your life experience, you've learned really valuable interpersonal skills, and to use these tools that you've learned to continue to nurture your relationships with family, friends, romantic partners, all connections, okay, are relationships. So whatever it is to you, like, make sure you're putting in the work, air sign. It's easy to lose focus, especially when situations become difficult. However, you have the integrity and discipline to continue to work at improving your relationships with others, and when you do, your efforts will be rewarded. This is also a good time to learn more about the people that you are in relationships with. The more you understand a person's beliefs, the easier it is to comprehend the motives behind his or her actions. This greater understanding will go far in fostering better communication. Learning new communication skills would also be useful at this time. You have what it takes to sustain positive, loving, supportive relationships. So keep up the good work. And I read from the book. It's by John Holland. I think that these cards have some really poignant points to them, and I haven't got them fully memorized. I haven't been using them that long, but they are really helpful in helping to understand matters of the heart a bit better. And yeah, this one is all about putting the work into your relationships. So, and especially the relationship with yourself, given the other cards that are here. This is a time of harvest. This is like the end of a cycle for all of us, and we're moving into new territory post Lionsgate. So this is how you prepare, by taking care of yourself and getting rest and making sure that you're eating as healthy as you can, and not being hard on yourself if you can't for whatever reason. Like, I get that sometimes we only have so much money in our budget for food, and sometimes we have to, eat the ramen noodles, or, we're feeling kind of down, so we decide to treat ourselves to a Reese's peanut butter cup or something. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think that earthly pleasures keep you sort of grounded, even if they're things that seem unhealthy or whatever. I feel like restricting yourself completely, as opposed to just doing things in moderation and being temperance, walking the middle path and not going overboard is key. So be gentle with yourself, be forgiving with yourself, and keep going. Keep making the dedicated effort with your friends and family and loved ones, and most of all with yourself, okay? I love you, air signs, and hopefully I'll have another video for you before too long, okay? Take care.